Good morning. Bring Marshall County Fiscal Court to order, March 1st, 2016. First item on the agenda, I want to share with everybody, Friday, there was a retirement reception for two gentlemen out of the road department. It was a great fellowship. We got to spend some quality time together. I know Johnny and Rick, we went, some of the staff went. And retirement is a goal for all of us. It's an achievement, and when we get there, I like to say in law enforcement, I'm a member of the 14th of the month club. That's when I get my retirement check. But you look back and the fellowship that you have with the people you work with, and you reminisce the good times and the bad. But Mitchell Hopgood retired Friday. He went in the hospital Sunday. So I don't know the status of his condition, but if you can just keep him in your prayers. We're getting updates from Russell, but I just want people to understand that, you work so hard to achieve something, and then that quick, you can be in the condition that he's in. So just keep him in your prayers. The first item, guest, Scott Brown, going to give his quarterly report.
I just wanted to touch base with y'all. My first quarterly report is completed for the time that we first went wet up until January the 31st. We had 6 establishments opened. 4 of those were malt beverage and 2 were private clubs. The yield is $15,570.26. And on the application and renewal fees, that was just all of the application fees that we've received up till that date. And I'll keep up with it quarterly. So a grand total of $28,345.26. That was, like I said, 6 establishments. To this date, as of now, we have 18 open. The packaged liquor stores received their letters Friday, so we received 8 for Marshall County, and those have until May the 6th to get up and running or ask for an extension.
You have any questions?
Would you say they have until what to get up and running?
May the 6th. That's just a date for them to, so they don't.
That you are talking about those 8 or the other 6 also?
All of them.
All of them? How can people that hadn't even got a building, how can they get their building?
They have to ask for an extension.
Oh,
He just wants to
oh,
more or less know
okay.
that they're not just sitting on it and waiting. He give them 3 years that they cannot sell or transfer the license. That keeps somebody from just obtaining a license and then going out and selling it for several $1,000s. So he give them until May the 6th and told them they can't sell them for 3 years. They can surrender them, but they cannot sell them.
Okay. Thank you. Next, under guest, Krista Garland from the Parks Department had given us the bids, the mowing bids, and we received them in our office. Do y'all want to take a look at those and then? Accurate with that. This will be the mowing bids at the various locations throughout the county, the day parks.
How many bids they end up with?
10.
10 bids?
Sure.
This is the advertisement for the mowing bids. The Marshall County Park Board, on behalf of the Marshall County Fiscal Court, will receive bids for the contractual services on the mowing and weed eating of various county-owned properties. Bids will be received until 4 p.m. on Monday, February 22nd, 2016, at the office of the Marshall County Parks Department, 596 US Highway 68 West, Benton, Kentucky, 42025. The bid is for one-year contract, generally consists of the mowing and weed eating of 22 county properties. Copies of the required specifications and a list of the properties to be mowed can be obtained from Marshall County Parks Department office on or after February 2nd, 2016. Marshall County Fiscal Court reserves the right to reject any and all bids. Successful bidder may be required to submit references and a list of similar project experience prior to award of the contract. Bids shall be submitted in the form of the bidder's choice in a sealed envelope properly noted on the exterior to the office of Mike Miller Park, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, no later than the time and date specified above. Bids are good, shall be good for 30 days. That was published Tuesday, February 16th, 2016. This is Premier Lawn Service, Honor Dale and Debbie Riley, 74129 US 68 West. And there's a separate amount for each of the properties. Total for the 2016 mowing season, $22,605.
How many properties are on there? I know there was 34 or something.
I think 22.
22, cut them down to 22, okay.
This one, Keith Westfall, February 22nd, 1:03 p.m. $24,000. This is Green Lawn Care, received February 22nd, 2016, 11:13 a.m. And the total is $37,620.
Say that again?
$37,600.
That's what I thought I heard.
Next is mowing bid, February 22nd, 1:28 p.m.
Who was that, Jeff? I'm sorry.
Don't have a name yet.
Okay.
Tony Tynes, 1523 Slickback Road, $45,903. This one.
All of Marshall County.
February 19th, 3:07 p.m.
I think you need Mr. York's knife over there, Council.
Anco
May
Maintenance.
cut himself.
James Bradley Anderson. The total bid price is weekly $1,420, yearly $46,860. This looks like Langley, 199 Woodall Drive, Benton, Kentucky, February 22nd, 2 p.m. Alan Langley, $20,974. This one's February 22nd, 329. Atkins Lawn Service, 939 Dusty Trail, $16,500.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Atkins Lawn Service, 939 Dusty Trail, $16,500. Fixing to get my knife out. This is from John Miller. Don't have an address. That was received 3:08 PM, February 22nd. And the total cost is $25,740 from John Miller. This one's dated February 22nd, 10:22 a.m. B&B Yard Care, 900 Olive Street. There's a bid proposal and certificate of liability insurance, $16,500. And there is one more dated February 22nd, 4:09 PM, so that one was past the deadline, so I'm not going to open it. And that's all the bids.
You couldn't hear that? She couldn't hear that.
I said that there's one more,
Pull your mic up, Jeff, man. Sorry.
and it's dated February 22nd, 2016, at 4:09 PM, and that is after the deadline, so it will not be open.
Got a tie.
We do have a tie. Any questions? I know.
What was the bid last year for the 34 properties?
That's what I asked.
17,250.
17 what?
$17,250.
And that was on 34
34, right?
properties.
And this is on
22.
22.
Big savings, big savings.
One of the tie bidders is the service that has the award this past
Presently
year.
has it?
Atkins Lawn Service.
Has that been satisfactory?
Well, it's down,
Well,
from- it's
obviously,
down from last year.
Yeah, Krista's
Well,
shaking her head
I think
yes.
he meant it's the performance satisfactory. Yeah.
Obviously, in the past, there's been times that not that service, but
Right.
other services have been inadequate and they've canceled, we
Yeah.
canceled the contract.
Yeah, throughout the year, I never heard any complaining regarding it. Never heard was never told to hold a check until they were able to discuss anything or anything like that, so I would assume it was.
Say if they're provide the service as of now, and they're doing a satisfactory job, we know what we have, and I move that we accept Atkins' bid for $16,500.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. B. Atkins. 16.5. Next on the agenda will be under old business. You've got the minutes. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Approve the minutes, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, it's going to be under old business, bids for sanitation district number 1. We had received bids, I forget the date, it was a couple meetings ago. I looked into this a little bit further. As far as the bids, I think there's a 90-day period for the bids that we have to take action on. What I want to do is entertain to the commissioners that we hold off on these bids, that we, I guess we can say, take a motion on the bids, but I think there's a lot more information that I have to get in my office to understand the total situation that sanitation number one is in. Roughly 2011, when the project started, I think it was signed in 2012, the wastewater treatment plant in Aurora, that project was to refurbish the entire, rehabilitate the entire sanitation plant and the lift stations. Learning in detail about that project, I think for me, what I want is I want to bring another engineer in to look at the details that's going to come to me and tell me exactly what we've got in Aurora as far as the dollar amount and the condition that that plant is in. And I've got two items actually on the agenda today. One, the bids that we have to deal with, and two, and I'll bring this up, I've got an agreement drafted by Rivercrest Engineering that I want to present to you today. But I want to know, before we move this court forward and we spend taxpayers' money, that we know exactly what we're getting into. So I would entertain a motion on the bids that we deny the bids until I can get further information on this project.
We're not gonna open, I mean, we're not gonna discuss any of the details.
We can if you,
I really, I mean, I probably don't need to, I don't guess, but.
I mean, we can, but the bids that had come in, there were 3 contractors that submitted bids. Put my glasses on here.
Needless, they were probably one less than they were the last time. I mean, they're going up, I'm assuming. Okay,
Well,
that's fine.
yeah, the money is the is the issue. So regardless of the bid amount, we don't have the money at this point in time. But Bobby Latrell, who bid the first time, rebid. The grand total was $292,630. YEC Excavating Contractors out of Mayfield bid $376,000. That's $376,000. Merco out of Paducah bid $341,977, and that's for the 5 lift stations. I'd entertain a motion to deny these bids.
Motion to reject all bids.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, what I would like to do is bring to your attention that Rivercrest Engineering, I'd like for them to come in and look at the total project for the sanitation district in Aurora, and report back to me exactly what it is that we've got and where we have to go forward on this. And I can get you a copy of this. We didn't put this on this was one of the items I forgot to put on the agenda, but I can get you a copy of this if you want to look at it. But it's just an agreement. I've talked to Brian Flynn, who owns the company, told him that I want him to go out, look at the lift stations, look at the waste treatment plant. There's one item that we need to think about too. Talking to the chairman of the board out at the district, in 2017, when they go to get their permit, there's going to be some regulations that are going to be new that we're going to have to meet. That is in another addition that's not included in this project. And I think it's important that they meet those requirements in 2017. So we're going to have to look at that. And I think really it was to keep the fertilizer and the phosphate down from the plant to regulate that, because they were growing plants in the actual waste treatment plant itself. It deprives the oxygen. So there's some regulations that's coming down the road, and I think we need to be prepared for that. But this is something that, this project's been going on since 2012. The people in Aurora, if there's one thing I heard from them, is that they feel like they're left out. They want to be included in county government. And 2012, we're still not completed with this project. That's a concern, I know, for all of us, but I think we need to make this a priority to help the board, Sanitation District Number 1. They're prepared to do everything that they can do to help. I think it's our responsibility to make sure that we do our best to get that completed. But
Have we have a commitment, I guess, from the Parks Department to help fund or help to manage or actually take care of the debt service for this project? Is there anything that we need to do to try to maintain that, or is that ongoing? As far as I know, it is right now.
right, it's ongoing. I've talked to the chairman of the board. He's supposed to report back to me exactly their finances. I feel that they are in a position to actually should be able to fund a loan to help with the project. But I think before we get to there, I think we, as the court, need to understand exactly what project and details that we're talking about.
Did we ever find the paper trail with the state park?
Yes, there is a
I know
contract.
at first there, we couldn't find the paper trail. The agreement.
Contract signed.
Right, there's,
I
we couldn't
understood
find
that,
it.
but nobody'd ever seen it until,
Right, we couldn't find it, but it was found. There was one actually drawn up in '81.
That was, that's the original.
That's the original one. And then we actually found the second one, that's got the dollar amount that you're talking about, Bob, but we do have it.
Those three bids you read, was
Yes,
the
sir.
first one out of county also? I know the second and third one was.
All three of them are out of county. Dundee's, Kentucky, Mayfield, and Paducah. I will say on these, there was, one of the things that we advertised was that the AGC, you could go to the AGC and get the plans. They don't receive electronic submittals, and the engineer had submitted electronically to the plans. There was no follow-up, so the plans never made it to the AGC. The AGC's they've got 24 counties in the western part of the state, and they've got several in southern Illinois. And I've talked to the engineer, and it was just an oversight, but there's just a lot of things with this project that I want to get more involved, and I think bringing an engineer in is going to help us understand what we're getting into.
I wish we could get somebody in county to bid.
To bid on this, I agree. I would say that when it comes time to bid again, every platform that we can put it out on, we need to put it out on. I think by then we should have our webpage up. The webpage should be a great platform to get information out as well, but I agree.
well, if we'd had the information to AGC, that's, as you said, in several states, that's 420 contacts that people that do that kind of work that, and of the three bids that you read that we received, Luttrell was the guy that's done work with the county before, but the other two, I contacted the other two contractors, Mertco and Youngblood, and asked them to bid. And they didn't, I said, well, it's on the AGC website, and then they said, no, it's not, and then, the rest of the story.
Right.
But the scope of the problem in Sanitation District 1, as you said, it's been ongoing. As we learned in the court meeting, we rejected bids last time, and the Delta Regional grants and some of the financing to support these projects that this county signed back in 2012 and received a $3,000 grant. $75,000 and change is not in that grant, and nothing's been done, and it's not.
It's not the way
The
I
scope
want
of
us
the
to do
problem,
business.
of the project has changed, and, that's just not the way to do business. It's double.
It's odd as it may seem, that's a very small project for most of these contractors that they're not very interested in.
Well, I mean, there's,
You have to pretty much, you have to beat the bushes and find them, and
right. And I think I think you're right, beating the bushes. I think we need to beat harder.
But you need to get that word out there, not, like I say, of the three that bid the second time around, I contacted two of them. And Mertco is one of the biggest contractors around here, and they just finished out the new middle school, a project under $100,000, so they, do small projects and large projects. You just don't know till you get word out to them, and
that's true,
that
but
hasn't
the
been done.
bid that was rejected before, the very first bid where we just had one bidder was the lowest bid that we've received so far for the project.
Well, the lowest bid, it depends on how you look at it. The $260,000 that bid came in was for 5 lift stations. The engineer that assessed it at $291,000. We would have actually saved the money, but we didn't have the money. So the $198,000 was for 4 lift stations. So we were changing the project, the scope of the project. We got to do better than that. When you look at the details of the project, the money was there. Everything was there to complete the project. The problem was the management piece. Mr. Gifford came in front of the court. I think it was the CW SRF funding that KIA had recommended that he go to. They have low interest rates, and they also have burden on principal. I asked him if the money was there. The money was there. We didn't execute on it. I think what we did is we lost scope of the original project, and it's easy to do that. We started chasing bigger dollars, and when you do that, and when you lose what your original project intent was, that's where we're at. What I want to do, and I think we owe it to the ones that are in Aurora, that are on that district, that we actually go back, we look at the project, where it is today. We're talking 2012. So we look at where it is today, and we try to help them complete that project.
Agree with that.
I will get you a copy, if y'all want a copy of this agreement. Do you? I'll get you one. But I would take a motion to let me get Rivercrest Engineering to come in and look at this project.
What's the dollar amount on there, this
Right now, the
ballpark?
ballpark 7,000, and I've got to bring him in is about $7,000 right now.
We need to move forward. I'll make a motion that we spend that $7,000 to have them evaluate the project.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. One other item that we didn't put on the agenda is the concessions. So we're going to go ahead and read it. We put bids out for the concessions out at the parks. And we got, you go ahead, Brad, you can read it.
We advertised in the Tribune Tuesday, February 16th, 2016. Advertisement for bids. This is tiny. The Marshall County Park Board, on behalf of the Marshall County Fiscal Court, will receive bids for contractual services for the operation of concessions at the Mike Miller County Park until 4 p.m. on February 22nd, 2016, at the office of the Marshall County Parks Department, 596 US Highway 68 West, Benton, Kentucky 42025. The bid is for a three-year contract and generally consists of operations of the main concessions, soccer area concessions, and Legion Ball Field area concessions at the Mike Miller County Park. Copies of required specifications shall be obtained from the Marshall County Parks Department office on or after February 9th, 2016. The Marshall County Park Board and/or the Marshall County Fiscal Court reserve the right to reject any and all bids. Successful bidder may be required to submit references and a list of similar projects experiences prior to award of a contract. Bids shall be submitted in the form of bidder's choice in a sealed envelope properly noted on the exterior no later than the time and date specified above. Bids shall be good for 45 days after bid closing. So there's one dated February 22nd, 2016, 2:36 PM.
This is for concessions at the county park.
Yes.
Yes.
That hasn't already been opened?
What hasn't been open?
That bid right there.
This? No.
Okay.
That was mowing. This is for
I
concession.
understand that. We're talking about the same thing. Okay, go ahead, proceed.
Okay. This is from Larry Witt, doing business as Magic Valley Catering. Bids 15% of gross receipts per year for 3-year contract on Mike Miller concessions, payable monthly with detailed receipts accompanying each payment. Larry Witt, 270-703-1308.
The, one thing that I did, I'd never been out to the actual concession, never been in it. So Brad and I, we went out to the concession and we looked at it. Something that was interesting to me was that there were some local businesses that actually showed interest in putting in bids, but they never executed. And I was curious to why they never executed. So we went out, we contacted one of the businesses that just didn't have an interest in it. Once they went out there and they reviewed it, and I wanted to hear from them why they didn't do anything. And when you talk to local businesses, especially like in restaurant business, when the health department shows up, there's regulations that they have to abide by. They're held to a strict standard, and they know the dollar amounts that they have to spend and what their food product, their labor product. So they go into it in details. So they can go into an area and look at it from a business perspective, and you find out real quick why they're not wanting to submit a bid. And there are things that we can change to where we can get more people interested. I think the goal would be to make it to where more people would want to bid. And I think the parks would be a great opportunity if a company that has a product that here in the community we all know and like to eat. I mean, I like to eat, but they come out and they actually put their bids in, and we can get more people to be competitive. The changes that he talked about, obviously there's labor costs, there's structural costs or issues, where the contract itself, we found that the contract itself really didn't support or it wasn't advantageous for someone who owns a business to come in and bid. Those areas I think we can improve on so that we can get more competitive bids from customers out in the community. I know we got one bid. One of the concerns I have is the way it's set up. Take for an example the cash register. The cash register is just something that was bought at Walmart. It met the standard that we needed. We needed a cash register, but every teenager that works at a cash register knows that they can lift it up, push a button, and the drawer comes wide open. So there's no accountability on that. It's very hard to manage, and that was one of the things that the business person says, I don't want to get involved in that. A hood where they're cooking, we don't have a hood out at the park. Now, the health department came out and they inspected the stove or the grease, the fryers that we have. It doesn't require a hood, but when we're putting bids out or we're putting out information to get bids, that's one of the reasons why businesses aren't coming, is because they may come with a bigger grill that would require a hood. If we put a hood in at the concession, you're going to have more people come and see that we have a hood there that they can bring their equipment and be, have that available for them. So I just want to bring that to your attention, that there's some things that we can do out at the concessions at the park that I think we can get more people, more businesses to bid for the concessions. If we're truly going to do it right, let's fix some of those things that were identified to us from business people in the community that are interested in the bids, and try to help us come up with a better opportunity where we can get a better product and relationship out there. Getting one bid for concessions, I think we can do better. With that said, we got one bid.
The problem that is time in this case. I mean, a couple of weeks, it's game time,
Right.
They start tournaments and
We talked to,
Clock's ticking.
and you're right, the first tournament's the 14th of this month. We spoke to the employees out there. They've done the concessions in the past. We've sat down with Krista, and I even went out and sat with the board. They are prepared to have concessions ready.
you mean the employees that are out there.
Our county employees will be prepared to have concessions ready for those tournaments that are coming, to allow us the time to do what we need to do.
There's other employees besides those that are employed at the park. 'Cause I understood last year that we had, and the county paid those employees, the part-time people, the $13,000 was the cost, I think, of the employment for summertime help in the concession stand.
Right,
So you're still going to utilize those people?
right.
I know our employees can't do it all.
Right.
It would be,
I-
I think, overwhelming.
Yeah, I guess it was Doug Ruggles.
Something we need to do for security as far as funds are concerned. I mean, certainly, if there's something we can do, whatever, long-term, short-term, to help that situation. But I thought all along, with good possibility, if we had someone that wanted to direct this at the park, then that they could probably provide the concessions themselves. But I didn't know, I thought the park board had kind of indicated they'd like to just bid it out, but
Right, and bidding it out, I'm fine with that. I think that that actually, by bidding it out, that's a burden that,
it is. I don't know if you receive as many funds as
Right.
in that way, but it's less headache.
right. But I think to me, just talking to the business people that went and looked at it, they actually went out there and looked at it, and it was exciting to know that there were some local businesses that were looking at it, and they just didn't commit. So I was curious to why they didn't commit. Those few things that they brought to our attention, I think we can fix. It's not going to be a money-making. The parks is not going to be a money-making thing, but we can reduce the headache, and we can try to reduce the cost. And I think I like the idea of the concessions. And we don't even know yet what the potential is that's out there.
Well, as we talked about last meeting, it's dependent upon the weather. You've got a rainy
Yes.
season that 7 tournaments or weekends are rained out, you're not going to make as much money as you have a dry season. So it's all, act of God as far as that's
Right.
concerned. So, that's probably one of the reasons that some of the local vendors don't choose to roll the dice and guess on the weatherman, so.
Right. I would entertain a motion to deny this bid. Let us make some arrangements, changes out at the concession in the parks, and rebid, see if we can get more people, more businesses to bid.
And temporarily do it as we've done it
Yes.
in the past. We've got the manpower. We've checked with the employees, and they're all right with that. I know that some of the employees have changed, but I'm just not aware of who out there has been involved in the concession stand. I know one employee has, he's no longer there, but I'm not aware of the other employees. Krista, are they of, oh, okay, Doug, okay.
I entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. The other item under old business, sanitation district number 2, board appointment. I'd reached out to Melissa Hale. She's the owner of Ponderosa, and she is excited to get involved. She thinks it's important, especially for her business and the Draffenville area, so that's good. But I would entertain a motion to appoint Melissa Hale to the sanitation district number 2 board.
So
that
moved,
motion.
Judge.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Under new business, memorandum of agreement, drainage ditch motion.
I've got that.
You got that?
I've got that, Judge. Last meeting, if you'll remember, it involves Retirement Circle, and the county was going to do a drainage project that go down the west side in our right-of-ways in Retirement Circle on the west side, go underneath the road and cross culvert, and that's where it required permission from a private property owner, Melissa Johnson, and we did that, and she agreed and signed the documents, and the court approved that project. The road department went down, Russell called me, and the road department went down there, and after it transverses the private property owner, that we got her consent, there's a field that this water flows into, and it drains to a larger creek. It's a 40-acre field, and it's, about as crooked as a snake, but across there. But they thought that they could go and make minor adjustments on this 40-acre field, no trees or anything, just a crop field, and help the drainage problem considerably. And I have got permission, the same document that Ms. Johnson signed to allow us to come on to protect her and protect the county. I have got the property owner's George W. Heater, and he has signed the agreement and for the project. It's not the same amount of work and so forth as the Johnson property. It's just Russell might be able to address that better than me. They just shot the grades, and there's a few minor adjustments they can make out there that will take all this water that's not going to be 100%. It never has been for the last 50 years, but it'll make it a whole lot better.
There's the drainage ditch going across that field, and it just needs to be cleaned out a little bit where settlements and everything has kind of stopped it up a little bit.
And I don't know if you can, I'm sure nobody can see this, you're welcome to it, but as you come out of Retirement Circle, this big thing here's the field from the PVA's office, and there's a green line, and it comes out of Retirement Circle, and there's the main creek over here, but it, kind of, like I say, it's kind of snaky across there, but after shooting the grades, they could make minor adjustments out in there that would help the flow, and the property owner is very gracious, Mr. Heater, very fine man, and, you know, whatever we need to do, we've got his blessings on that property.
Do you have the one that is signed?
Yes, I've got,
Okay.
I've got, we've already got Melissa Johnson signed, and all the judge has got to do is, it's got George Heaters and Jason drew that up, the county attorney's office, and.
Right.
And the judge just has to sign it, and we give permission as a court to extend that across George W. Heaters' property. I'll put that in the form of a motion if we need a motion to do so.
It's not necessary for court action. The county judge
My
can.
signature.
I mean, it's already been approved in court.
Right.
Yeah.
The project itself, but, okay. Tell them to have at it, Russell. Good deal.
And it's a signed copy. I know you two are happy. So am I.
What?
It's, I'll tell you
Private
later.
joke?
Yeah. Next on the item, new business is Echo Lane. I think, Rick, are you,
Yeah, the health department's here on that too, and this basically, while he's going to the podium, I became aware yesterday of a project that's been going on for some time, since August 16th of 2015, in Echo Hill subdivision, a mobile home, modular home, however you want to define it, is in violation there. So it's been ruled in circuit court in violation of subdivision regulations, and which strictly says, and then the circuit court has ruled in their favor. My understanding is the property owner there that has a modular mobile home has appealed the process. If the home is not there, obviously the problem goes away, because there's if they got a septic tank that's pretty, I've got pictures that are dated back to August the 16th, and a well-documented paper trail, and I went out there this morning. I didn't get a chance to go out last night, but like I say, the problem goes away if Judge Jameson's ruling is upheld, and April the 1st, when is April 1st? It would all go away, which, if that judgment is upheld, but just kind of, I think, I've talked with Julie last night for an hour, and the property owners out there, and I think it's something that we need to, make sure we're all on the same page, which we can, get the ball rolling and get satisfaction. This court has no involvement in the modular home and the subdivision regulations. We have no jurisdiction in that whatsoever, but that would solve the problem if that is upheld. But Julie's, or Michael, you?
I know
Got some
you,
stuff.
I know you come by yesterday on that. We were busy in a meeting.
Oh, I didn't. That's just where I met the property owners. I was just standing there, and
Oh, okay.
I
Well, we
just inquired and ran off some copies and stuff.
We ran out there.
Yeah, and that's what,
And took a look at it as well.
We just have a little timeline for you guys to look over that'll outline the things that have been done, with the septic system.
I know right now, while I was out there, the ground's so saturated, I don't even know if you can get, if you get any equipment in there, you're gonna tear the ground up. And I think, speaking with Julie at the health department, they've got something established as far as trying to get another bed. Too much water on the existing septic tank. It is draining. You can clearly see where it's draining. But I think once the ground dries up, they should be able to get in there. But you're right, in 4 weeks, I don't know how long the appeal process would take, but they've been ordered out April 1st.
If it goes all the way through the appeal, it'll be a year.
Be about a year.
I mean,
So,
that's my point exactly to the property owners. And when I talked to Julie, I mean, it's a shame. We have no jurisdiction. That's not in
Right.
our, we We have no authority whatsoever to decide that dispute. That's in a court of law, but you know, what we can do in the interim to, you know, it's been going on since August the 16th, and I understand the circumstances. I've heard both sides of the story, but, you know, if there's anything, and the only reason that I even asked for it to be put on the agenda is just so we can, you know, problems like this and other problems that, you know, it doesn't sit around here for 2 years and get hung up at halftime and never get finished, and, you know, two or three more issues come in, and then, you know, they go to halftime and never get finished, and I certainly don't want that to happen, and you know, these people deserve due process too, and if it takes another year, that's not very quick from August 16th till, you know, a year from now. I don't
Right.
think it'll last that, that's a pretty cut and dry, my understanding, but
If it does go through the appeal process, I understand that can be lengthy. I know that they have a plan, and that's to get in, and once the ground is in better condition, and get another bed, get the washing machine off of it,
yeah.
and that would at least help.
And they've been in full compliance. They want it fixed too. Obviously, it's in their backyard. It's just not dry enough. They already have the installer lined up. He's part of the original contract that did all the installation, setting the home up, putting the driveway in, is my understanding. And they're ready to do it. We've just gotta let it dry out.
Right.
Would you explain to the court the process about what you told me about the septic tank and taking the washer off of the septic tank and
Basically, what's going on with the system, it's not a faulty system. It's a home that has 9 children in it. They're using a whole lot of water. And the systems are sized based on number of bedrooms, so we're looking at average typical use. Their water usage is higher. They've worked with us on reducing that. They have reduced it some, but obviously not enough. So what we're gonna do is pull the washer off, put it in its own separate bed, and that should relieve the stress off the lines that are failing now. And then two, those lines are located in a natural drainage way as well, so they're catching surface water also. And what we have surfacing is clear water. It's not what you might think of when you think about a septic system failing. It's not the dark sludge, and so that's where we are with it. And they're very willing to fix it. And we think that will fix it, and if not, if that doesn't work, then we'll take the next step.
Right. Thank you.
according to the circuit court, though, that's, they're not in compliance with those subdivision regulations, which is not our baby
Right.
at all, but that solves the problem, because if the mobile modular home trailer or whatever goes away, as the circuit court judge is so ruled, then the problem will go away.
Right.
Don't throw any more water in there, you're not gonna have to come in there and dig up and take the washer off of there, because it serves no purpose. The adjacent property owners, do you guys have anything that I'd say, I think in cases like this, it's healthy, whether we accomplish anything or not, to certainly voice the complaints and see if we can do anything to alleviate them, make sure we're going through the right steps to do it right, and you know, government, as most of us know, it doesn't move very fastly, and or as fast as we'd like it to sometime, and just when I saw the date on then, and the property owners have got a pretty good paper trail of emails dating back to August 16th of 2015, and, you know, they've done their homework, and obviously, if I lived there, I wouldn't be satisfied either, regardless of what I heard, and I know I talked to Julie and satisfied with, you know, the comments she said, and learned more about the situation, but it's something that, you know, we need to go as quickly as we can, and when the window of opportunity presents itself, and hopefully the Judge Jameson's ruling will be upheld and all will be well. That seems like the simplest solution.
I agree. Thank you all for coming out. Next on the item is approved payment of the bills.
Move to pay the bills, Judge.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Entertain a motion to go into executive session for property.
Make that motion, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Before we vote on that, can we stipulate the time, and not going to be 3.5 hours? I'm just kidding.
I hope not.
For those in here that don't want to wait, I just forewarn you if it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's not going to be.
You got first, second motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. In the actual waste treatment plant itself, it deprives the oxygen. So there's some regulations that's coming down the road, and I think we need to be prepared for that. But this is something that, this project's been going on since 2012. And the people in Aurora, if there's one thing I heard from them, is that they feel like they're left out. They want to be included in county government. And call Marsh County Fiscal Court back to order. There's nothing else on the agenda. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.